bags, bag.
Yes. We back in the building. This is RAWDOPE Podcast, and we out in the community, and we are live and direct at the Baltimore Cultural Center with Baltimore Elite Business CEO, founder, and creator. We come to chop it up with her. She got an artist showcase out here. It's crazy. A variety of artists, Baltimore sticking together. We doing our thing. I'm gonna let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and what she got going on.
Okay. Hi. So basically, I would start off with Baltimore Business Elite. It's a non-profit organization that started from a need and one of my own. I felt as though I didn't have enough support coming from family and friends. So from that, not having support or not having people believing in me, I feel as though that if I gave to others what I didn't get, then they will be able to have the support, the love to be able to flourish in business and in life. So that's where it started from. That's where it came from.
So, what part of Baltimore did you grow up in?
Well, my family is from McCabe in York Road, but I was raised off of Harford Road, so I'm zone 18.
So, East Baltimore?
Yes, East Baltimore.
That's really cool. So, since you're doing this, and I see you got a nice crowd here, good food, great hospitality, and again, I thank you for having us out and about. So, just how long you been doing this, and just tell us a little bit about Baltimore Business Elite, and you know how you came up with the concept. You said you wanted to give out the information that nobody would give to you. So, outside of you just having that in your mind, what truly inspired you to do it and made you keep going with it?
Well, actually, I had two grandmothers that raised me, a West Side grandmother and an East Side grandmother. Basically, they always gave to the community, always had their house open, and so giving back is always something that my family did. It is in my blood. But for as like the business concept of the situation was, it came from, like I said, a want and a need. But Baltimore is where I'm from. You know, I'm all about business, and I feel as though if we all come together as one, we'll be a community where so we'll be elite and we can be able to take over some stuff and probably go to different states and do the same thing.
So what you say, since you started this whole venture, what you would say the success ratio has been?
Well, I would have to leave up the success to the actual business owners, like how they feel about it, because it's not about me. It's a non-profit organization. So if they feel as though today was a success, then I feel good about it. If they say if today was a failure, then I got more to do and I got more to give to them.
So just describe to us a little bit what life was like for you coming up in East Baltimore.
Well, my father died when I was younger, but he was a loving, caring father. He used to walk with me around the blocks, telling me about how things was when he was younger, and he told me what he wanted for me when I got older. So I never was a child that felt like I didn't have a father figure. He was always enriched in me. People always told him about me, like things about that, his nature, how he was. So I don't have that father syndrome thing, but growing up for me it was kind of hard, you know, because my mother, she did her own struggles, you know. When her brother died, she went into the streets and started using drugs. My grandmother raised me. So back to what I was saying about I had two strong grandmothers, one East, one West. You know, I saw a lot of different things from East to West about things. So it made me stronger. It made me feel like I can go anywhere and do anything and accomplish anything.
So, we always ask people this question on the actual podcast. Just tell us what schools you went to, because I see you're an East Baltimore fly girl. So what schools you went to? From elementary school on up.
I'm a universal student. I bounced from elementary schools, middle schools from east to west. I graduated from GED. I went to college. I'm a massage student. And just say that I always protected people and I always got put out.
That's good. So I'm a guy, and I was raised up by my grandmother, so I just understand how enduring and how passionate that grandmother love could be. So, what would you say like one of the most important things that you learned from your grandmothers?
Okay. Well, for my east side grandmother, which is my father's mother, I learned that family is everything. You can be anything without a strong support system for its love and a foundation. For my west side grandmother, she basically told me that I was special ever since I was young. And she told me that I got it in my blood to be whatever I want to be and to be a hustler, because she was a hustler. And that's what I came from. Two women that always hustle and provided for their family.
Oh, that's ultimate. So you got kids?
Yes. Okay, she want me to talk about being a mother. I got 3 kids. My son, he's 22. He's in the Army, and he also is a police officer. He live out in Virginia. I got son Tion. He's here, an introvert. He really don't deal with people. And my daughter Jasmine, she the life of the party. She actually walked and did a catwalk today in a fashion show.
So now I have to ask you this: Did you raise your kids with a partner, or was it the usual thing?
Ask me that again.
I said, did you raise your kids with a partner, or it's the average thing that we hear about coming from our community?
You asked the tough questions. Well, my oldest son, father, but he had a father figure, which was my 2 youngest kids' father. So they all was raised with a father. And he was around for a long time. We separated after we got our divorce, but he's still around. He's still a strong father. I'm engaged right now, so the strong, dependable parents is still continuing.
So with that being said, with you being a mother of 3 kids, you always kept a positive role model and the right vibe and inspiration around your kids, right? So listen, I just have to ask you this because I asked everybody else. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see Baltimore Business Elite being the foundation for every business, and I see that we're going to take over each state doing the same thing we're doing here. This is only a stepping stone.
So what can you find Baltimore Business Elite at on social media?
Okay, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, and we building a website, and then we're going to start a YouTube page.
That's beautiful. So is this your first event that you're doing today, or this is? So again, we glad we in the building for the first event. We covered it. We out in the community. But now I gotta ask you little questions about Baltimore City. I'm from West Baltimore, and we all from Baltimore. What, if any, advice that you have to give for the state that our city is in? You know, the news stations cover it, Murder Inc. cover it. There's a bunch of always negative shit on our city. And my podcast, personally, we try to cover the good of our city. We could talk about a lot of bullshit, but we just don't. So I just want to ask you, coming from the woman's standpoint, and just, having sons out here and growing up yourself in Baltimore, what type of advice could you give to kids that's misguided, misunderstood?
I would just basically say that just because you're a little misguided or misunderstood don't mean that you're lost. And sometimes some people need to be lost to be found. And it's always some people out here just like you and me that's there for them. All they got to do is reach out and be around the right sort of people. And if you don't know what the right sort of people is, it's the people that always encourage you to do better, always want better for you, and show you love even though you don't give it. So if you put yourself around those type of people, you can get yourself out of any situation.
So what advice will you give to the teenage mother that just don't understand that she got 2 kids and the guy that got her pregnant, our kid's father, was murdered on Baltimore streets? Because it's sad to say that's something that we face every day in the city that you shouldn't face nowhere. It's murder. By like, it's like we in a third world country that it happens so much. But what do you say to that teenage girl to just think it's the end of the world, my baby father gone, he's dead, or could be in jail and I had these 2 kids and I'm only 19? Like, what word of encouragement could you give her?
I would just tell her that basically just because it's dark right now don't mean it's always going to be dark. Keep in mind that even though he's gone, you still have your kids. You still have a piece of him. And to make that part of them kids live on, not only for you, but for them, you gotta stand up and be that mother. Just because you a single mother don't mean that you can't raise kids. It's always family members, guys that it's good, role models. I mean, it's out there. You don't have to be in a relationship until you 100% mentally ready and your heart is in the right place. Because bringing the wrong guy around your child can do damage to him. So I said, just get right with yourself first. Focus on yourself, do what's good for you and your kids, and the right man will come along. Don't focus on a man right now. Focus on yourself and your kids, and that right man will show up and show out for you and your children.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to get the list though. Baltimore City. If you was the mayor, just give me 3 ideas that you got just off the top of what would you do to start the process of healing the city?
National hugs for a month. But honestly, changing the whole school system. Like what they teach in school is bullshit. I feel as though they need to be learning about financial, survival skills. I feel as though that they need to know basically how to work in and out of a situation, not just on survival skills for us the streets, but survival skills for us life. Just in case, like what you said, somebody die, what's the next steps, or what you want to do after that. And I also think that basically all these colleges that's going around buying up stuff, what they need to be doing is buying up elementary schools and teaching kids how to get from elementary school to middle to high to college. And I feel as though if they adopt elementary school, then it will already be embedded in them to want better and do better.
Wow, I think you should run for office. I think you should run for office. That's good. So tell me a little bit about some of the artists that came out to the event today to perform. I know you like me, but just anybody that you the host of the party, so we gotta ask you.
Honestly, I'm just gonna keep it 100. I saw a few of these artists perform. I don't know too many names. Like I mostly know Dice. That's my baby mother. She's in charge of the entertainment piece. I'm a business person. I'm in charge of the business part. Yeah. So they just talented. It's very talented.
So by this man, your first event you throwing for Baltimore Business Elite, how do you feel the turnout was, and how was the vibe in here tonight?
It was a slow start. You know, everything in Baltimore always a slow start. But the love came out. I think it's actually a nice turnout, and I think that basically this is a start to something better, and hopefully we can still do business together.
So, when you think your next event will be?
Whenever they want it. Whenever they want it.
But you Baltimore Business Elite, so you gotta be on top of the business. So basically, the people told you to do this, or you came up with it, or it was like a group decision?
The concept came up from me, from a need that I wanted, but after talking to people, I was like, you know what, other than making it a business, let me make it a non-profit, because people need help. And a lot of people, once I started telling them, like, this is what I wanted to do, they were like, this is what I need. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So honestly, this happened overnight. I said I wanted to do it. I said I'm going to do it. I booked this event, and in 2 months, I did all this within 2 months. No money. None. Everything funded, paid through me. No job, in a struggle. So black women can do whatever they want to. There's no such thing of, you can't do it. You got a thought process, it can happen. Just put the energy and put God first, and stuff will get done. I think it's nice.
Well, I gotta tell y'all, man, this is a beautiful event. it's definitely a vibe, and it's definitely filled with like fresh flowers, talented people out here. And one thing about us, we cover news, sports, and entertainment, but most of all, hip hop. And we also like to cover entrepreneurs and people out the ghetto, people out the mud, people that's striving for a better tomorrow. So that's where I'm at with it. But again, I appreciate you for having us out here. And if anything else that you want to say to our audience and our subscribers.
I love them. They're awesome. They're great. Follow them on YouTube and everywhere else that you can follow them. Shoot, knock on that door, give them money. That's just that great.
So, actually, do you have an office, or you just working from home with this?
We do. We support each other.
Okay. So, if we wanted some resources from your company, how would we find them? How would we get in contact with you to get the resources that you offer?
Okay. So right now you can hit us on our Instagram, Baltimore Business Elite, Facebook. We do have an email address. It's baltimorebusinesselite@gmail.com. And then we also have a phone number. But like I said, I just started this stuff. I don't know about off the top of my head right now. But just reach out to me, and I will get y'all whatever y'all need when I can.
Hey, and once again, man, I love the event. And like I said, we created this platform for people that's want to come up, you know what I'm saying, coming out of Baltimore. And a lot of people that work hard in the city doesn't get recognition. So, you know, this lady reached out to another friend of ours, like she said, Dice, good friend of ours. We covered the event with her, and we've been kind of like coming up in the entertainment with her. And then she sent us the olive branch, and we reached out. So this young lady has a positive business, and she's on to a good thing. And for all the single mothers out there and all the women with children that don't think that it can happen, this is living proof. She had a nice turnout. The food was great. The vibe was great. And it's a Baltimore Business Elite. I like that. What made you tell me how you came up with that name?
Yeah. Well, for sure it's BBE. I love BBE. I love saying it. But I felt as though that it had to have a name with a punch. And when you say Baltimore, it automatically make people stop and listen. And for us like business, I wanted them to know that we about our business. So Baltimore is about our business, and we elite with this shit, you know?
So, like I said, man, the business up there. She showed you where you can find us at. You can hit the notification button, subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. We in the community. We stand by our people 100%. And this is RAWDOPE Podcast, and I'm your host, Hand 5000.
And I'm Kay Johnson of Baltimore Business Elite.
And we out of here.
No exception to the rule. I'm irresistible. You fool. Give in.